Welcome to Pivot Parenting, where we help parents of teens overcome regret and disappointment to find peace and connection in every situation. I'm Heather Frazier, your parenting expert. Journey with me to discover effective parenting tips, improve family relationships, and build a brighter future for your kids. Buckle up, things are about to get better. Hello, my friend. How's your day going? It has been wild times at the Frazier house. Been running errands today, and tomorrow my son is flying back to college, which has been so fun to have him home and also so sad to see him go. He had a 6-week-long break. He's attending an American university in China, and so they coupled Christmas and New Year's with Chinese New Year. So he had a really long break, and it's been so fun to have him home. But it all ends tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. when I take him to the airport. We're excited to be able to eventually go visit him, hopefully this spring. But there's a lot of moving parts today, and I hope wherever I find you, it's somewhere good. Today is another installment of requested topics from social media. Now, of course, I always advise you to follow me on social media, but even more so, engage with me as a pen pal. The bottom of my website, you can sign up to get a weekly email from me. And you can always request podcast episodes by emailing me. You can just respond to any email which I send you. It comes directly to me, or by commenting or DMing me on social media as well. Because guess what? I don't do this podcast so that I can tell you what's on my mind. I do this podcast because I want to help you. This podcast is all about you and your family. And so I would love, love, love to help you on any topic that is causing you strife in your parenting. It can even be a parallel topic to parenting, like parenting and marriage often go hand in hand, or parenting and sleep, for example. So if you're struggling in kind of a parallel universe to parenting and it's affecting your parenting, hit me up. I got you. Today is just such an episode. I got some comments about moms with chronic illness. And this topic really hits home for me because I grew up in a household where my dad had chronic pain since before I was born. He broke his back, missing 2 vertebrae. He now has a morphine pump, like chronic pain my whole life. I grew up with a parent like this. And then shortly after I had my 4th child, I was trying to get in shape, lifting weights at the gym, and I slipped a disc and had chronic pain in my back for about 10 years. And I say had because I have healed it. And I'll get to that part in a minute. But any topic that you're talking to your friends about or experts about, everybody is going to approach that topic with their own lens. And when I say lens, I mean their experiences, their educations, their feelings, their opinions, what they see in the world based off of who they are and their unique life experience. Now, my lens is through that of a parent and a coach. And on this topic, it also is through the lens of somebody having had a parent grow up with chronic pain and illness, and also experiencing chronic pain for, about a decade myself. So I get this. My particular lens looks at the facts, what is happening, and then our thoughts and feelings and stories that we create about those facts, which then creates our emotion, which then drive action or lack of, which creates a result that is tied back to that original thought or belief. This is my first go-to lens to make sense of any sort of struggle or any sort of victory, because then when I can understand it better, it is easier to know how it was created so I can replicate it or choose something different. So this is how we're going to look at the concept of having a chronic diagnosis today. Now, some will tell a chronically ill mother to do more self-care. yoga, naps, get a housekeeper. It's okay if you have cereal for dinner. Some will recommend a book, a doctor, a method, or hack to help. It worked for them or a person that they know. They want to recommend it to you based off of what you have told them. People want to help according to their lens or not. Some people will avoid this mother because they're uncomfortable or uninterested in her struggles. But most of us want to help. We want to fix the suffering or learn how to avoid it because we're humans. And we do this because of love for that person. And also it's really uncomfortable to see somebody else uncomfortable. And we want to help fix that for them so that they're comfortable, so we can be comfortable, so we just are all happy. And this is good and fine. And sometimes there's really valuable insights shared in conversations like this. But oftentimes when there is a chronic diagnosis, they've tried all of these things. They've heard it all. And it doesn't necessarily help. I'm not going to tell you to do any of those things. If you are listening and you have a chronic diagnosis that you do not like or have not made peace with, because I'm guessing you've heard it all. So I invite you to come and see my lens on chronic suffering, and you can see what you think about it. Again, I coach with a model that is circumstance, thought, feeling, action, result that I learned from the life coach school. Brooke Castillo, she's amazing. So if we plug into the equation what this experience is like, we can get a lot of clarity on it. So the circumstance would be your diagnosis: fibromyalgia, a bulging disc, chronic fatigue syndrome, whatever it is. And you have symptoms, okay? And those symptoms are also a circumstance. So you might have pain. You might have a certain amount of energy. Those are the circumstances, how your body is responding to that illness or diagnosis. And then we have a lot of thoughts about it. And I'm certainly not going to hit all of them, but here are a few. This is unfair. I can't have the life that I want. My children are being punished because of this. I don't like this. Why me? I must not be good enough. I am broken. I am damaged. I am less worthy of love. What did I do to deserve this? And then we have feelings based off of those thoughts or beliefs. We can feel ripped off. We can feel ashamed. We can feel sad, resentful, betrayed, angry, disappointed. We can have a lot of self-judgment or self-loathing. And from those feelings, we spiral in coulda, woulda, shoulda, which is always so fun. And we run through the list of things that you need to get done, and you guilt yourself for what you dropped the ball on, and you avoid those that you've disappointed, like your kids, your job, your spouse, your hobbies, your friends. And you look for ways to escape, whether that's through food, your phone, suicidal ideation, meds. You tell yourself how you failed and how you're affecting everyone negatively around you, how you're not doing enough, how this is not the life you imagined and something has gone terribly wrong. You try to stop caring because that hurts so badly, which yields your result. Now remember, our result is always tied into our belief. And the belief is some flavor of something has gone terribly wrong. It shouldn't be like this. And we create more of that. So instead of having just the physical symptoms of fatigue or pain, now we've layered on emotional and mental duress, which means people typically shut down. They're going to do less with their family. They're going to engage less with their hobbies. They're going to be less present when they are with their children because their brain is spinning in the negative self-chatter. Like, I should be able to do more for my child and they need me and I'm sitting here and I can't help them like I want to. And so then you dislike yourself and your life more than before because of those beliefs that it should be different, it should be better, something has gone wrong. you're clearly not good enough, whatever flavor you're selling yourself. And I want you to be really honest and take all the time that you need to be honest in how you feel about your diagnosis. Now, I understand that this episode might come off as a little bit of tough love. And so I want to give you a little background story. Again, my dad has suffered with chronic pain my whole life. I remember as a little girl praying that I could just have his pain for a day so he could be pain-free. And I know that my siblings have too, because we've talked about it later as adults. And he's not one to whine or complain. Like, he would suffer in silence, but you could tell on his face that he would be in pain, and he still is. And he's in his 80s. Now, we would all tiptoe around him and try to make his life easier because of this pain. Enter in my brother-in-law. I have some amazing brother-in-laws. This brother-in-law is very down to earth, and he doesn't walk on eggshells, and he doesn't put up a dance or a front for anybody. He just is himself, and he does his thing, and he allows other people to do their thing. And if you ask him a question, you better be darn ready for an honest answer, because he'll give it to you. And he's buddies with my dad. And when they go to do things, this fantastic brother-in-law tells him how it is. This is how many hours we're going to be gone. We're not coming back, even if you're in pain. So if you don't want to come, don't come. But if you come, be ready just to suck it up, and this is what we're going to do. And he doesn't pull any punches. And he loves my dad, and he's good to my dad. But he doesn't cater to my dad. And guess what? My dad typically goes and does the things with him. And then there's the rest of us, who we say, oh, Dad, it's okay, you're in pain, or yeah, we can leave early if you need to. And we do. Now, I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong. But what I do want to say is that we can unwittingly add to the drama of the diagnosis. And drama adds to the pain, getting dialed up, getting turned up. Buying into the drama and pulling out the violins and playing the sad song for ourselves actually makes the pain more dialed up. So, when we can make a diagnosis as simple and undramatic as possible, we lessen our suffering. Hi there. I just want to pause and let you know if you are struggling to make sense of your teen's behaviors, emotions are running wild, and you're looking to turn things around to have the family you dreamed of while rocking them to sleep, I would love to talk to you. I want to give you a special, powerful gift. 30 minutes with me, my friend. You'll walk away with more confidence, clarity, and understanding of what the issue is and your next best step in resolving any situation you bring to me. It's completely free. I love families and want to help yours be wildly happy and successful. Book this call by visiting my website, heatherfraser.com. Remember, Fraser is spelled with a Z-I in the middle. And don't worry, the link is also in the show notes. I look forward to meeting and helping you. This episode right now that you're listening to could technically be considered a second installment of an episode that I recorded a couple of years ago with my pain coach, Betsy Jensen. It's episode 106, Rewiring Our Pain. And if you search on my website, heatherfraser.com, you can put in a keyword like pain or Betsy and it will come right up. You can listen to that. And I talk all about how this dialing up our pain by making it more dramatic is scientifically founded. It is real. It is actually how I got rid of my chronic back pain. I used to have at least low-grade pain 80% of my life for a decade, well after my injury had healed. And now I have it very little. And my pain is actually a really great barometer for me about how well my nervous system is coping with life. When I am really stressed, old haunts of my chronic pain come a-calling. And I'm not saying this is a solution for everyone, but it was for me and it was really helpful. And one of the ways that I was able to reframe that so that I could calm my nervous system was by using this 5-point model. So, with a chronic diagnosis, typically we are not going to be able to undo that diagnosis completely. Just like if we were to have a scan of my back, I'm sure that the disc is still in the same place when it was when they did the scan and saw that it was bulging. That is still there, and it might inhibit me to some degree. But I've changed everything else in this 5-point model. And this is tricky to do on your own. I understand if it seems like a daunting task, but guess what? There's no harm in giving it a try. You're not going to make it worse, I promise. Again, we've got a circumstance, thought, feeling, action, result. The circumstance is going to stay the same. Okay, I have this diagnosis. My body feels this certain way. So I have pain. I have X amount of energy, whatever that is. Okay, that's just going to stay the same. But we can change our beliefs around that. Because remember, that's where the drama comes in. So we don't want to believe that it's unfair. We don't want to believe we can't have a good life. We don't want to tell ourselves, I did something to deserve this. None of that is true. You're 100% worthy of love. You didn't do anything to deserve it. You're a good person. And none of us escape life without tests and trials and hardship. Because we are human. And that is the human experience at its very core, is hardship. So we can change our thoughts around the diagnosis. This is going to be okay. I can still have the life that I want. I can teach and show up for my children exactly how they need me to. I can find pleasure in things that I'm capable of doing. I am loved, even though I don't feel good. And those types of beliefs, I want you to find your own flavor, but those types of beliefs are going to create feelings of contentment, gratitude, love for our family, desire. They're going to create more positive feelings, which from those positive feelings, we will have better actions. We will have more compassion on ourselves. We will not be our own worst taskmaster. We will be more present when our children are upset and need us because we won't be judging ourselves for not doing it a better job. We'll just be present with them even when we're tired. And when we behave like that, you might experience the same body, but the result is your mental, emotional, spiritual health is intact and healthy. And that, quite frankly, is half of the human experience. And if you can nail that half down in a loving, compassionate way, you're winning. And that's amazing. The next best win that you can do is you're showing your children how life doesn't have to be perfect in order to be happy. You're teaching them so many valuable lessons. They're learning valuable lessons when you're unable to get dinner, and they're learning how to be a help around the house. That's not a problem. It's not a problem when they have to give their siblings a ride or when you need to go to bed, and so they're going to help you out and follow through with some things for you. Because families pull together, and I think that our society has done moms a disservice that so much falls onto their shoulders. And our children just lead this charmed life. Because what that does is it sets our kids up to think that that's what they're entitled to. And that everybody should cater to them and that they shouldn't have to contribute. And that's a lie. Everybody needs to contribute to have a functional family and society. And so to have your kids contribute, it's not a problem. And then we can also choose to believe that it's not a problem if we don't run the house exactly how we would like it to be run. Guess what? I have dirty dishes in my sink right now. And I would be embarrassed if anybody looked at the amount of crap on my floor because I haven't had time to sweep. I did all the laundry today, but it's sitting in a giant pile waiting to be folded. But guess who doesn't care? I could easily go to sleep right now and not judge myself for being a bad mom or housekeeper. Because guess what? Value, when we base our value as a human, as a mother, on what we've been able to accomplish, we will always lose. Always. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the to-do list breeds overnight. Do you ever wake up and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to call and arrange that, or I need to do this? It's like the list never really ends, but we're dangling this carrot of I can't feel good about myself until all the boxes are checked. No, did you know that the boxes can be there and you can rest easy knowing that you are worthy of love, that you're a good parent, that you aren't supposed to meet everybody's need or feel bad about it. I promise you're not. And so, if you have a chronic diagnosis, from the lens of mine that I am offering to you, you can choose to believe that while this is certainly not the life you imagined growing up, nobody gets that life and nothing has gone wrong, and you can still have a full and happy life. You just have to rearrange in your expectations how that has to look. And the spoiler is it looks exactly how your life is right now. So if all you can do is toss a bagel to somebody as they run out the door and you can't make dinner, perfect. You can still choose to believe you are so blessed. And it's okay to have pain, and it is okay that your kids need you and you can't meet all their needs. And it is okay to be exhausted. And you can give yourself a fat serving of grace. Because what happens is that then we feel better when we show ourselves compassion and understanding. And the weird thing is when we feel better, we want to engage with people more. It dials down our pain. I promise it's true. I am walking experience of it. And when we don't feel completely buried with a to-do list, otherwise we've not been productive enough and we can't be nice to ourselves. When we don't do that, guess what? We have more energy. Now, it might be to go get a soda with your kid instead of folding the laundry, like I may have done today. But guess what? No regrets, baby. It was fantastic. And we had a good time. And I was present. And that, to me, is the hallmark of a good day. The laundry can wait, but my sweet little 14-year-old, I want to be present for her. And so I can give her whatever I have available and call it good enough. And so can you. All right, my friend. As always, if you have questions, thoughts, concerns, want help, please reach out to me. I am here to support you and your sweet family. And I hope you have a blessed week, and I will talk to you next time.
Heather is the one, an expert in the field. She knows her parenting stuff, including how confusing it can be. You've tried it all, and it's a lost cause. Crying in the closet 'cause you failed.